Time now for another Friday staple here on Chicago Tribune Live. We get you ready for a big weekend of football, college and pro, with a visit from national sports handicapper Brandon Lang. Hey, Brandon, I was telling Jerry Azuma that you made it big in sports when you've got your own animation. Jerry's got his own now, and so do you. That's some pretty good stuff.
Tell you, whatever we got to do to make ourselves feel good, I tell you, we'll definitely do it.
Well, you're coming off a great week here in Chicago, going 4-1 on your picks, including the Bears' rout of Seattle. That was your best bet a week ago. What about this week? The Bears are giving up a heavy number, 10.5 to Buffalo. Who do you like?
You know, I think this is an inflated number. I think it's a tough spot for the Bears to get right back up and really blow these guys out. It's not like Buffalo's going to come in here and just flat out lay down. I'm impressed with the way they're playing football. I'm impressed with what they've done on the road when they went down to Miami. And Miami's a tough place to play regardless of how Miami is playing. They didn't lay down in that game as well. They came back and beat Minnesota and dominated them pretty good. Their defense looked really good. There's no way the Bears lose this game. It's not happening. But you're asking them to cover a double-digit number after that huge emotional win last week. I don't know if they can. I think this game is decided by single digits. I think there's value in the underdog. Let's say the Bears win by 3 last week. This line is 7 and not 10.5 or 11. So I lean towards the dog here. I'll play Buffalo.
Another key AFC contest I'm interested in is the San Diego-Pittsburgh game. I think San Diego is giving 3.5, which would seem almost just the home field advantage there. That doesn't seem like a lot.
No, but I learned my lesson last year when these two met on Monday night, and Pittsburgh went out there catching 3.5 and beat them 24-22. Field goal with 10 seconds to go. One thing about Pittsburgh is they travel really, really well. 16-3 straight up, guys. Their last 19 away from home. You got them coming off a bye week. And last week I had the Ravens, and I said that Phillip Rivers would not be allowed to win this ball game. Schottenheimer would try to protect him against that Ravens defense. I think the same thing's going to happen here. I like Dick LeBeau as a D coordinator. You saw what he did at Indy last year. Frustrated Peyton Manning. I think Pittsburgh goes in here and does exactly as they did last Monday night. I don't see this team losing coming off a bye week. I think Big Ben will be a lot sharper. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game because I'm not a believer in Phillip Rivers or San Diego just yet. Who have they beaten? Tennessee and Oakland. So I like Pittsburgh in this contest.
Hey, Brian, it's Casey Johnson from the Tribune. You got Washington coming off of an emotional victory, and you got the Giants coming off of a bye. What are your thoughts on that game?
Guys, can we be honest with one another here? This Giants secondary couldn't cover my mother in a wheelchair. I mean, seriously, Seattle just made them look so bad. I got my grandmother wheeling and dealing in that secondary, and I think Washington, with what Al Saunders has done, coordinator-wise with Mark Brunell, they lit up 31 on Houston, came back, put up 36 on a very good Jacksonville defense. I got to tell you, I like what he's doing in the passing game. I'm not a believer in the Giants. I'm not a believer in Tom Coughlin. When you got your guys calling you out already, and it's only week 3, you got big-time problems. This team should be 0-3, not 1-2. And I'm going to look for Washington to go up here in a field goal game, plus the points, and get it done. I like what the Skins are showing me.
Brandon, this next game's not on the list that you're going to pick for us, but I know you're big in Philadelphia. What about the Eagles-Cowboys? T.O. returning to the city of brotherly love. That could get ugly there on Sunday. Who's going to win that game?
Yeah, it could. I got my full dose of Philadelphia on Monday night when I had them as a big play, and they're down 9-7 at the half, and I'm suicidal thinking, no way I cover a 13, 2 fumbles inside the 5-yard line, and then, of course, Brett Favre serves it up for me and allows Philadelphia to get the cover. Brett, thanks. I love you, buddy, and keep up the good work. So in this contest, I think with the injuries surrounding both ball clubs, especially Philadelphia at receiver and their defensive backfield, I think the play here is actually over the total. Don't mess with the side. It's a 2 number. Westbrook didn't play Monday night, may be questionable here as well, hasn't practiced all week. You know what his status is. I think over is the play. 7 of the last 10 in the series have gone over. Philadelphia over 6 of the last 9 at home. I think you play over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. As far as the side is concerned, I wouldn't touch that with your money.
All right. And finally, let's go to your 2 for the money best bet, Kansas City and Arizona.
You know, I had Kansas City last week getting it done over the 49ers, and I really like this team. Pop quiz, guys. Who's got the #1 defense in the NFL right now? It's not the Bears. It's actually Kansas City statistic-wise, although I would never go against the Bears against really good football teams. Kansas City's going to go out here, and I think they're just going to tee it up against Leinart. He played a little bit against the Falcons and looked terrible. And this offensive line for Arizona, that's where the problem is. They're big, but they're very slow. Kansas City has played Denver. They've played Cincinnati. They lit up the 49ers. Herm Edwards got great things going on here. Arizona's 0-4 against the spread all 4 games. 6-16 the last 22 on the board. Not a Denny Green fan, not an Arizona fan. Great spot for Kansas City to go in here and get the job done.
Great information, Brandon, as always. Thanks for doing such a good job for our audience, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, Brandon Lang, our sports handicapper. You know, the big game nationally, we talked about it.